there's two things to discuss here. Firstly, why incels are becoming more common, and secondly, why incels kill. So the first thing I'll discuss why I believe incels kill, and I believe it's very, very simple. I believe that men are biologically programmed to be violent. I believe that men have an evolutionary need to be violent up until very modern society. In fact, even in modern society, a man who does not have the capacity to be violent when needed isn't a man. Like every woman likes the idea of someone broke into my house, so my husband fucked them up. You can lie as much as you want, but that's what you want. So you can lie as much as you want. So men have an evolutionary need to be violent. We have that. We've grown up with it. The most violent people survive. So it's natural selection, isn't it? So men have this inside of them, and I think women they dull a man's sharpest edge. And when you have a loving family and you have a loving woman around you, that kills a lot of your angry feelings. But when women reject you constantly, and you're already a man, and men have naturally violent tendencies, that's not called toxic masculinity. It's called fucking human nature. Then you're going to end up lashing out at somebody or something. I say this all the time. I say this. Yeah. This is what I say about the whole immigration thing into Western Europe, and all these immigrants turn up and they start doing violent things and attacking girls and raping girls. I say, look, they're turning up broke with they don't speak English. What girlfriend are they getting? Zero. How long are they going to sit around without getting laid, looking at all these pretty white women walk around in high heels until they think, fuck this? That's men. That's male instinct. Yeah. So that's why the incels are killing. The second question is why are incels growing as a number? And the reason for that is because I believe the game for a man is becoming harder by the day. The whole offering that used to get you a loving, stable wife only 40 or 50 years ago is gone. You can't go up to a girl and go, I'll be your man, I'll work in the factory, you stay at home, I'll work all the time, you cook, and you give me 3 kids, and we're gonna be together. Everyone's like, what, you work in a factory? Fuck you, loser. No, I'm on Instagram, I'm talking to this guy, he's an athlete. The game's changed, and the game's changed because the basic dynamic of the sexual marketplace is broken. And the basic dynamic is men give attention to get sex, and women give sex to get attention. This is how it used to work. But now women get attention from nothing. They start Instagram now. Boom.
This is absolutely.
They got their attention. So why do I work your dick?
That's exactly what I've been saying. Man. Men want sex and women want attention, but now Instagram, women get all the attention they want. Yeah. To like 1,000-fold what they can get from any single man, exactly. And they're all using Photoshop and Facetune and all this shit.
Yep. You can be a 6 in Montana, and you can still be getting hit up by verified dudes.
Yeah.
Like, what chance does the guy who works in Target in Montana have? I mean, maybe as a bit of game, whatever. But the point is, it's getting harder and harder for men because also the sexual marketplace has been completely globalized. So a lot of people say to me, oh, you're in Romania, you must meet these really beautiful, simple girls from a small village. I'm like, bro, I drive through a village where they barely have electricity, and if I see a girl, she has 100,000 Instagram followers. These girls know what they're worth. Like the whole idea of this simple, redneck, hot girl, all that's gone. It's gone.
If you go through the top-rated women on Instagram, quite often they have Cyrillic names, and everything's written in Cyrillic. Yeah, the Russian girls that used to have jacked up. Yeah, the girls with jacked up teeth and stuff, they all get their shit fixed and they're making 6 figures.
Yep. So the whole marketplace is globalized. So the whole idea of you're going to meet this simple, poor, hot girl and she's going to be humble, all bullshit. If you're 16 and you're living in Transnistria, which is a breakaway micronation on the border of Moldova, which I got arrested in, that's a different story. You will still have 100,000 Instagram followers. And you will still be getting offered trips to Dubai and trips to Singapore and Tokyo and LA. And Dan Bilzerian's team will be hitting you up. And then how are you going to come along as Joe Schmo and say, yo, I bought you some flowers? Like, come on, man. The game's getting harder for dudes. It's getting harder and harder and harder.
So there are very, very organized and very powerful systems in place that are designed to prevent us from saying and thinking certain things. And a lot of them are designed specifically to control us. And I think that a lot of the relationships between men and women now are designed in a way by the powers that be deliberately to reduce masculine power. How can you feel like a powerful man when you have no control over your own household? How can you be a king in the world if you don't control your own house? And how can you control your own house if a woman can call the police on you for basically nothing, can divorce you and take all your shit, can stop you seeing your
and could kick you, in America they could kick you out of your own house by calling the police on you.
Correct. So
because the police is always going to secure their safety.
So how are you ever a king in your own household? Now, if you don't feel like a king in your own house, you're not going to feel masculine enough out here on the street to represent freedom against tyranny, right? You're not going to feel like kicking up for a riot if you have too many problems at home. The reason the men aren't kicking off, the reason the men aren't getting together and say, whoa, you're not destroying my family's life work, is because they're too busy arguing at home with some bitch over some dumb shit. And they deliberately try, they have been deliberately trying for a very long time to reduce the masculine essence. The reason in countries like America, the reason the law is so destructive against men is very, very purposeful. They don't want you to feel like a king. They don't want you to feel powerful. If you wake up on your fucking third year of a sexless marriage, paying taxes, and your kids don't even listen to you, you don't really feel like rebellion. You don't have it inside of you. This is why there's so much fucking male suicide. This is why men are so depressed. This is why everyone's so unhappy, because the life they try and create for men, the things they try and purport, the ideas they try and make us subscribe to are depressing. They want you as a tax slave. They want you as a tax slave. They want you in a sexless marriage with some old fat bitch who hates you. That's what they want. Afraid to leave because they'll take your house and destroy your life's work. And they want you to sit there and pay your taxes until you fucking die. This is all done on purpose. None of this is an accident. It's all very purposeful. This is a control mechanism, along with everything else. Everything you see on TV is a control mechanism. All the shit they put on Netflix is a control mechanism. Telling you that you have mental problems you don't have is a control mechanism. Telling you, you can't focus on anything for 2 minutes because you have ADHD, or you're depressed and you can never fix it. They're trying to control you. They're trying to dampen your life force. Making sure your woman doesn't listen to you is a control mechanism. Making sure you can never leave her without being financially destroyed is a control mechanism. It's all control mechanisms, all of it from head to toe. You have to resist the slave mind. You have to look at it all and understand they are trying to make a slave of you. And when I say slave, I do not mean slave lightly. I mean the word slave. Every single thing about the modern world was deliberately constructed to get us to a point where they can come along and lock you in your house for something with a 99.9% survival rate, and you're going to sit there and take it like a bitch anyway. That's what all this shit is, including being in a position where you can't even tell your own woman she's not allowed out with her friends to get fucking drunk with a bunch of dudes. Because you're not even allowed to do that. If a wife comes home and goes, I want to go out drinking tonight, you go, you're not fucking going nowhere. Oh, I want to go out with my friends from work. You're not going out with them men. That's coercive and controlling behavior. Bro, you can't even tell your bitch not to go get fucking drunk with dudes.
They'll call that abusive.